It was February 2012, and I was dominating the real estate game. I was getting incredible deals coming off the great financial crisis that started in 2008. I was stacking my portfolio with property after property. A lot of times they were so cheap that it was sight unseen until Warren Buffett opened his big mouth and said one thing publicly that completely fucked the real estate market, especially single family homes. Let me tell you how he wrecked my entire business with that one sentence. Now, first off, he didn't wreck the business. He wrecked the potential growth of the business. Back in 2007, 2008, we were coming off the great financial crisis. Banks hated real estate. The same houses they would lend $100,000, $200,000 on back in 2006, they sat there and said, we won't even lend you $10,000 on in 2008. In fact, we hate them so much, just take them from us. It got so cheap that there were a couple houses, the prices were so low that at closing, I got a check at closing. How? Well, if the tax credit at closing was bigger than the purchase amount, I got that check there at closing. And it happened a couple of times. Now, why was real estate so bad? Well, real estate in itself wasn't so bad. What it was people's perception of this thing they called a toxic asset. But it wasn't the real estate that was toxic. It was people's bidding up the prices that was toxic. It was the very lean lending standards. From 2008 to 2012, I bought hundreds and hundreds of units. Everyone thought real estate was bad. But all I thought to myself was, wait a second, if I can buy a property for $10,000, and I think our average was 10 or 12,000 at the time, put 30 or 35 grand into it, which back then was a lot of money, I could easily get $950 or $1,000 a month in rent. That'd be a home run slam dunk deal. So I just started buying and buying. I didn't care if it was a house, apartment building, but we bought a lot of houses at that time. In normal times, buying a house, not necessarily the best return on your money, but back then, the prices were so cheap that it made so much sense to do that. So you can see why I got so mad in February of 2012. And I've said this for the last 12 or 13 years. I always say, yeah, Warren Buffett totally f***ed me. And here is what he said.
If I had a way of buying a couple 100,000 single family homes and had a way of managing, the management is enormous. It was really a problem because they're one by one. They're not like apartment houses. So, but I would load up on them and I would take mortgages out at very, very low rates. It's a very attractive asset class now.
Key point there is now, because Warren Buffett is an investor. What that means is something is an asset class. In this case, it was homes. He said, hey, if homes are $500K each, I don't want them. If they're $100K each, they're the same houses. I want them. And that's what he said. And let me show you the interesting timing of this statement, because after this, you know what happened? So many hedge funds started to say, oh, Warren Buffett's right. Let's go do this ourselves. And my comment to them was, hey, geniuses, everyone thinks you're the smart money. Where the hell were you in the last 5 years buying? Let me show you. I'm pulling this off my phone. Invitation Homes. They own around 80,000 single family homes. And when did they start? 2012. American Homes for Rent. Approximately 58,000 homes. When did they start? 2012. Tricon Residential. Around 36,000 homes. When did they start? 2012. Blackstone Group, and this is the one that really bothered me. They own 50 or 60,000 homes, and when did they start? 2012. Guys, these are big players, and they all started in 2012. And let me show you what the prices were back then versus right now. So first off, guys, this is home builder confidence going back to 2012. Look at right here. This is about where he made the statement, actually right about here. We have not seen that low of a point in home builder confidence since. Coincidence? Guys, remember, this is 4 years after the great financial crisis. So it's not like things were amazingly rosy and they weren't bad either. It was just, okay, it weren't like it was in 2008. It was just still, hey, do I really want real estate? But when the best investor ever, when times are tough, when he says things, people listen. Guys, look at this. These are the median home prices going back. And this is February of 2012. Isn't that weird? You had some up, down, up, down, up. This is the last time that we didn't see new highs in every low. Literally February 2012. Call it coincidence. I call it obvious. Warren Buffett opened his mouth and suddenly it made a lot of sense to people saying, hey, never thought about this before. Now, guys, it's a lot easier with real estate. And the reason being is there's no ticker above your house or above your rental property telling you every second what your property is worth. Yeah, you have Zillow and other ways of estimating it. But if you own multifamily, They're not going to estimate that properly. So when you're sitting there, all you care about is, hey, how do I increase the rents? How do I keep my expenses in check? How do I generate more and more cash flow? And every month you get that cash flow. Every month you get that rent check. Every month you pay down a little bit of mortgage. And you know that over long periods of time, because of inflation, because of the devaluation of the dollar, and because people's incomes are going to go up, your real estate would also go up along with it. But you're not getting caught up in the day-to-day up and downs in the market that make you feel right or wrong on any given hour, minute, day, etc. So it's much harder to do that with stocks. But again, we sit here with real estate and it's a great opportunity. What I want you to learn from this is that, guys, people out there will sit there and make whatever comment they make. Think about it logically. When banks told me that we're not in the single family home rental business, I laughed at them. I always say, isn't that interesting? You guys are willing to lend $100,000 or $200,000 now, back then, on a property that you wouldn't lend $10,000 on today, yet my rents are higher and the borrower is better. Isn't that weird? Now, guys, most common question I get is, well, Paul, when's the next real estate crash going to happen? Guys, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a nationwide real estate crash unless we have some sort of financial issue like we had back in 08 and 09. Yes, there will be pockets that see drop in prices. In fact, on higher end home now, I do see prices falling. I've bought a few single family homes for rental on lakes, and the prices are much lower than they were a year or two ago. Why? Because interest rates affect higher end market much more. But on regular homes, the supply is so limited that these prices keep going up. The cost to own these homes keeps going up because people's incomes are going to go up with time. The cost to build these homes are going up. But remember, in real estate, if you're ever able to find a good deal, jump on it. There will be plenty of deals down the road. Don't just fall in love with the deal. I know someone now who's buying a property, and I think he just fell in love with the property. I think he's overpaying. Could it work out in his benefit? Sure, we don't know the future. And if we have inflation like crazy, where it's 5 or 6% for the next decade, things will probably go okay. But I'm here to teach everybody, don't just jump for the first deal you see. Learn how to buy real estate from A to Z. And the other reason is, on some off chance that we do have another 2008, 2009, don't you already want to be experienced and knowledgeable enough to be able to jump on that opportunity? Of course you do. So you've just learned how I seized that opportunity because I was ready while everyone else was panicking. Everyone who thought the smart money were the banks and the hedge funds, I was laughing at them saying, you guys are so fucking stupid. And if you're serious about building wealth, real estate should be a part of it. You need to know and understand the numbers behind every deal. In my full real estate course, which is linked on the screen, I break down deals. I show you the exact math behind my investments and how you can buy one great property per year. It's the same strategy that I use to build my 1,000 unit portfolio. Thank you for your time.